So today I'm here with Ruth Mitchell, author of the book Deleted, and I knew her son John back when we were 5, and when she wrote it a few years ago, she asked me to copy edit for her, so that's why I'm here today. So Ruth, pitch your book to me. What's it about?
It's about some college students who can hack into people's memories in the near future.
Wow, that's very interesting. And glasses are a big part of it, right?
Yeah. It's instead of like smartphones, everyone has these things called specs, which are glasses. These are not actually specs; they're normal glasses. But they're thought-activated glasses that you can have everything that you have on your smartphone is on your glasses. And there is a little earpiece that goes in, kind of called the mind's eye, that has operates it, that interfaces with your brain and the phone.
Yeah.
And that's how they're able to hack into people's memories. These are not computer memories. These are like your real memories.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. And you said near future. I heard recently about a company who is putting displays on contacts. So
yeah.
It's like real possibilities. So how did you get the idea for this book?
Kind of two things. One, I've always, for a long time, I've wanted to be able to edit what I do myself. Like I say stupid things and then I'm laying in bed at night and thinking, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I could change it.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes too.
Yeah. So I've always had that idea, and so I kind of thought, like, how could you have a book where you could edit things? And then typical author answer, taking a shower, and the thought came to me, what if there were thought activated glasses like that? And actually, in the world of specs, they have the capability. I don't mention contacts, but they have the capability of doing it without glasses. It's just like people, it's cool, and so everybody wants everyone to know that they have it, and so it's kind of a fashion accessory as well.
So that's cool. So when did you decide to write a book? Was it like a childhood fantasy or just recently?
Pretty much. I always wanted to be a writer, for sure. But then I kind of got to a point where it just seemed like too big of a dream. And so in high school, I was the newspaper editor and the Lit magazine editor. And the newspaper thing seemed the more realistic option. So I majored in journalism and I worked as a reporter. And then when I had my kids, I just took care of my kids. And I was writing fiction on the side and just kind of writing, just moving slowly with my writing. This book is probably the third book I've written, but the first one that I was like, yeah, I feel okay showing it to other people.
Right. So when did you start writing this book?
A long time ago, 2011. So
wow.
Yeah, you didn't see it for a while. I started 2011. I finished it 2013, the first draft. You probably saw it 2014 would be my guess.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I based a character a little bit off your mom. And so I said, hey, Molly, I based a character off you in a book. Well, I could change her name if you don't like it. She's not your mom at all, but she has two qualities in common, and that is she's an excellent homemaker and she's really good with computers, which is kind of a fun thing to have, because often when women are really tech savvy, they're kind of a little more masculine.
Right.
And it's fun to have her be, or they're kind of like super sexy or something, but it's fun to have her be this homemaker who's also really computer savvy.
Yeah, that was a great character. So once you had this book written and started editing it in 2014, how did you start pursuing getting it published?
So the typical route is to you write a book and you query literary agents, and that's what I did. And really, right away I got some good success from agents. I thought this is going to be easy, but there were a few things that made it hard. My book is really YA in tone. It's okay for teenagers to read. It's but my main character is in college, and a lot of agents wanted me to make her younger. And I think you probably read one of the versions where she was younger.
Yeah.
And I understood what they were doing. I don't think it worked. So eventually I went back to, putting her in college.
Right.
And a good friend said to me, this book is one of those books that maybe you should go with a small publisher. And I don't know. I'm happy with what my book is now, and all the rewrites that came with the different agents
Mm-hmm.
were good and made it good. But as soon as I turned to small publishers, I had such a great success rate. Like
Yeah.
they were all like, yeah, we want this book. So
yeah, because I have never heard of Immortal Works before. It's not like Penguin House or
no,
something.
no, it's a small publisher, though they're growing, and they're a really good fit for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because they are out of Salt Lake,
Really?
and their goal is to have books, like it's part of the thing, like your book can be PG-13 at most.
Yeah.
Like, so it's okay. It's a book any parent can let their kid read and feel okay about it. But then they also want to be books adults so that like reading. But so that's great. It's a nice fit for me
Yeah.
because I'm not going to write anything racy.
I think your Uncle John is in some of the anthologies published by the same
Oh, okay, yeah.
Really?
Immortal Works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm like, maybe everything works out in the end. They didn't even exist when I started querying. But they're smallish, but they're growing every year. Like now it's about 2 books a month that come out. So, and it's I have been impressed by other books, by authors, by
Right.
them.
So, about how long from the finished, like, draft of the book when you thought it was finished to, like, getting an agent who actually ended up publishing it, how long did that take?
Okay, so let's say 2013 to January 2019.
Okay,
So
so that's
6 years.
6 years.
It was
Wow.
6 long years, yeah.
And how many revisions of the book did you think you did in that time?
I don't actually know, but somewhere between 15 and 20. I would say like huge major revisions, about 7.
Okay.
And then in between that, there's some pretty big revisions, but not quite as many. I mean, you read quite a few,
Yeah, I
and
read,
some of them were quite different from others.
I think about 5.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I think before you read it, had gone through a couple revisions.
Yeah.
So
Okay, let's see. So what are your future plans? Do you have any other books you're thinking about?
there is a sequel to Deleted
Really?
that I started.
Mm.
I mean, so that's fun. And I have another book, sort of like a romantic comedy book. And I have like 7 different books plotted out.
Right.
So I have lots to write, which is fun. So
Do you think you'll get any of those published?
I hope so. I mean, I hope so. I think so. I think that in fact, I kind of got to the point where I was like, you know what, I love Deleted. It's a great book, but I have other things to write. So I
Right.
just need to publish this and move on to the next books. For my publisher, they want the first look at the sequel to Deleted, so I think I do a good job with
Yeah.
it. It has a high chance of being published. So
That sounds cool. So the original title for Deleted, the working title, was When You Don't Know Me. Do you like the new title better, or?
Good question. I think so, in that it's
Was
short.
it the really original one, Forget Me Not?
Yes, I wasn't going to mention that, but yes, it's gone through 3. Definitely the response, When You Don't Know Me, I think it was a cool title. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is the drawback of Deleted that whenever you write it in something, people get confused and think you've deleted something, right?
Yeah.
But,
Or
But-
even just that there are probably other books with the same name.
yeah. But not as many as you'd think.
Really?
But mainly, it just had a higher success rate with agents and publishers and everything once I changed it from When You Don't Know Me to Deleted. I think maybe there's a title trend right now for one-word titles,
Right.
if you think about it.
Did you come up with that title then? It wasn't.
No, my daughter Zoe did. There was
Oh,
one
okay.
time when we were talking about my book and I had just had like another rejection and somebody in my family said, well, I don't really like that other title. And I'm like, oh, really? And so then Zoe suggested Deleted, and it didn't actually work out right then immediately, but the response rate from agents when I did queries with the title Deleted versus When You Don't Know Me went up quite a bit, like dramatically, which is a little silly
Yeah.
because the title isn't a book,
Mm.
but they're just like, oh, I can see marketing this.
Yeah.
So
All right. And so, what's one piece of advice you would give to an aspiring author?
I just read something recently, and I think it's so true. This industry is luck and not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
So some people, they just get everything right in the right place at the right time, and that's luck, and it's great. And other people, you just have to keep persisting and not giving up. So
Right. You definitely have some experience with that.
I really do, but have complete drawbacks. Like a lot of people, like the Twilight series, some people are really hard on Stephenie Meyer for like, it's not as well written as it could be. Well, the process of when she first submitted it and they accepted it and they published it was really fast. And so she had the luck thing going. But if I look at my first version of my book compared to the one
that's published,
it got a lot better. A lot of things were cleaned up. So there's some benefits to the long road, and so they both have their perks. So.
All right, so thank you for being here with me.
Okay, thanks so much, Harrison. Thanks for all your help editing and always believing in my book. Thank you.